Hey, it's Trails, with glasses this time, so I look smarter. Or these reflect too much, I'm gonna take them off. So you want to kill Leviathan, better bring your best range gear. This is the gear that I use. It's my best in slot range as an Iron Man, and I'm also using a blowpipe as the main weapon and a D-bow as a spec weapon. This way I'm actually using the dragon arrows I've got. And it actually feels nice to use the D-bow every once in a while. Now the best in slot here would be a Zarite crossbow, I believe, or a Bofa. The Boa Fair didn't. Oh yeah, and you also want to bring runes for Shadow Barrage. Very important. There's a couple ways to get here. Obviously, if you have the teleport, you can go to the Scar and go from there. You can also go to the Wizard's Tower via a fairy ring, then go into the basement, and then go into Guardians of the Rift like this, talking to the Catalytic Guardian that's standing right here, and then walking all the way to the end. You can also just use the Guardians of the Rift minigame teleport, or any other way you can get to the Wizard's Tower. There's many ways. You'll find it. I've got these tiles marked because it really helps when the final phase comes out that you just have to follow these, and that way you're always on the right track to follow the white orb. But more about that later. You can find these tiles in the description of this video. When you start the fight, Leviathan will slowly throw these blobs at you. Green is range, blue is mage, and yellow-orange is melee. Now these register on hit. So unlike other things in this game, you have to switch your prayer right as the orb hits you. Or before, obviously. After every sequence of blobs, he will scream at you, you'll take a little damage, and there will be a boulder falling right on top of you. Move one tile and continue killing. Slowly but surely, Leviathan will start throwing blobs at you at a faster pace. The moment you cannot handle it anymore, cast a Shadow Barrage, and that will stun the boss. I advise doing this at the end of a sequence. From that point on, run to the back of the boss and shoot the weak spot. I do this with a Dark Bow special attack. After this, he'll do one of two special attacks, which you will see in the chat box. If he throws debris at you, what you want to do is slowly walk away from the debris just like the Vorkat Acid Walk. But after this debris phase, he will throw a massive earthquake at you and you have to be behind the boulders. So what I do is I make one row of 6 and then go from behind. So I always have one tile spare with the barricade right in front of me. Once again, default attacks with the blobs. Same thing happens. Once you can't take it anymore, which is after about 5-6 turns, Shadow Barrage it, go to the back, hit it with your best shot, and then it will proceed to do the other special attack. So if you had debris at the start, you will now have to fight through the lightning phase. Essentially, this is a good time to pot up and eat up if you're low, because all you gotta do is run away from the lightning, which he spits out in rotation, and every couple ticks, hit with your weapon. In my case, the Dark Bow. When the boss reaches 180 HP or 20% of its health, it will go into Enrage Phase. In the chat box, it will say that the Leviathan focuses on you intensely. At this point, everything comes at you at once. But the thing you really want to pay attention to is where the white ball spawns. When you see it, you want to follow it as close as possible. It increases your accuracy and reduces damage, and it makes this final phase go infinite times faster. Preferably you're completely healed up before this happens, and prepare to prayer flick and walk at the same time. When done correctly, it'll die pretty quickly considering the accuracy from the white orb is pretty significant. This is why the tiles are there. They indicate the track that the white orb travels on, so they're very useful. And that's it. You've now killed the big worm. Good luck. If this guide helped you, please leave a like on the video. If it hits 100 likes, I might do a guide on the other 2 bosses. The 2 bosses I made guides on are my personal favorites, but I'm planning on killing 100 of every single boss, so hopefully I'll get proficient in the other ones. So let me know, and I'll make a guide on those 2 too. Subscribe.